Right. See here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're just warming up this rocket ship here for day 3 of our 5-day AI challenge. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Got echo in the mix, so let me just adjust here some settings. We have a jam-packed sales and prospecting day ahead of us. I mean, I've actually added some additional items to show y'all in live. This group here, all of y'all that have been here the last couple of days have been amazing with sharing feedback, looking for clarity, looking for more in depth on certain things. So I've taken this to heart, and I'm making adjustments so we can make sure you have everything you need today to get your first paying clients in the pipeline. So we'll be going over that here. As always, it's I'm obviously talking to you all here on the Zoom, on the Facebook Live, YouTube Live. You all fuel me by just engaging back. So here's the way to engage. Go into the Facebook business page, facebook.com/high level reviews, and go ahead and comment below the live. I'm going to look at it. My colleague Jordan is going to be looking at it. He is going to be handling and fielding a handful of questions in real time. So the more you chat, the more you engage, the more we can get you, but also we can keep this moving along strong and to benefit you. We also have YouTube, which we're actively watching. So if you go on to youtube.com, you search high level, you'll see the little live button on. Go ahead and feel free to comment and share your feedback, constructive feedback. Maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe I'm going too slow. Maybe I'm too high level overview for you. Let me know. This is about you more than anything else. So please communicate with you with what you need more for me to get you fueled up so we can get ready to take off together. And then, we're on the other streaming platforms. What we do appreciate, what's also a great form of compliment to us, is when you share our feed. Maybe you take a video of yourself, on the feed, just letting people know you're training, you're getting better, you're learning, or you got a venture in the making that you're about to launch. You're getting ready to launch your AI prototype, and you're just getting the final stages. Take a photo, take a video, throw it on your socials, tag Go High Level, and we'll do a repost for you. But we just want that. We want to spread that energy. And today you're going to learn with sales and marketing, sales and prospecting, that it's all about the energy you put out. It's all about the story you share that gets people around you excited, or people around them that get excited because of your initial influence with who they're connected to. And our overall goal here is really to get you everything you need to take off into the sales flex of what you're training and what you're doing with us here. So go ahead, as we continue on here, go ahead and throw in the comments where you're tuning in from. It's a beautiful day here in the United States. It is Wednesday. It is 12 p.m. Eastern time. What time is it by you? What's it like where you're at? What country, what region, what city are you in? Let me know. And I just added this cool tool where it'll grab some of the comments. It'll let me really get to know y'all personally. So please be on the lookout. I'll be reaching out in our group, just kind of maybe catching up on some of the comments and the engagement y'all have shared with me the last couple days. Right, the group is hopping. Everything's moving and grooving. So it's going to take me a little time to personally connect with all of you. But it's been fun as I've been doing it little by little. So without further ado, throw in the comments where you're from, what's it like where you're at, and then after you're done with that, I want, as we're warming up this rocket ship, giving everybody a minute or two to jump on. Because what I'm going to share, I'm only going to share it once because it's that in-depth and that intense and that beneficial that we're going to go all in on it, is share with me if you watch the replay, if you've been on the live, right? What have you learned, or what have you taken as a nugget that you've been putting into play, putting into work? that maybe you didn't think of it that way. Maybe you didn't understand the concept. Maybe you're like the aha moment kicked in, like, oh, I see. I see why this and that and the other is the way it is. Please share with me with that as well. I love to know, and I love to know because I'm nosy and curious, because I want to find ways that we can complement and share that great feedback with others that may not have the opportunity to be on the live or watch the replay. Maybe they're in trenches in their business and they're just their blinders are on. They're just in their business and they're not getting this value like you have opened up to receive. So it looks like we're on and popping here. We got the live going. I got Melissa from Heidelberg, Germany. I got Eva from Denmark, 18 p.m. here, 1800 p.m. I got Andrew back from Toronto, sunny and a nice day today. I got Puraj from India. It's 9:45 p.m. We've had some dinner. Now we're tuning in live. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. We got Jay from the UK, 5 p.m. where he's at. We got Noni Moore from NOLA from Marysville, California. 104 today. 104. Holy smokes. It's going to be a hot summer. That's what they've been saying. It's going to be a hot summer. So thank you all for sharing where you're from, maybe what the weather is, the time. It really helps me appreciate and give some gratitude that it may be end of your day. It may be the start of your day. It may be a beautiful day that you could be at the beach, but you're with me here, and I'm very gracious and appreciative of that. And it's my responsibility today to kick off a great session for you. So we're going to get exactly into that great session. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to dive in to what we've planned ahead here. And we are going to take it step by step. Maybe we run, we walk, we slow down a bit. Let me know what pace works for you. Let me know if you missed something. Let me know if you need some more clarification. If you have an example, maybe you're really good at sales and prospecting and you want to share some value and you want to throw some nuggets or maybe your experience or an example, throw it in the chat. Let others know. We're definitely here to all learn. So again, this is day 3 of the 5-day AI challenge. My name is John Bermudez. If it's your first time jumping in, I am your host and your coach. Okay, this live session complements in our university within High Level, our membership course that my colleague Haplin Milgram Hills has put together on the technical end and implementation of High Level as a software, as a service for you to sell and market in your areas. If you are by chance tuning in for the first time, you will need a trial account or an active account to jump in, use our snapshots, explore within the system. On the screen, you could go ahead and get yours right now. And then also, if you're an existing customer, you'll have full access. But here's what I want you to keep in mind if you're an existing customer. If you're an existing customer and you go to the university tab in your agency view, and then you go to the membership course section, and in that section, it does not say 5-day AI challenge. I need you to raise your hand. Raising your hand is throwing a comment in the chat. I don't have the 5-day AI challenge course. I don't have the course. I am watching it live, but I don't have the course. After you put that comment in YouTube or Facebook, I then need you to go to this website, gohighlevel.com/5DC offer. I need you to sign up, put your information in. Don't put your credit card in or anything because you're already a customer. Just sign in for that information so that way we get you added to the course. If for some reason it requires you to give a credit card, go ahead and go to the help section within High Level and just submit a ticket and we'll get you the 5-day AI challenge. It's important that you mention 5-day AI challenge because we have a whole bunch of courses. So that should bring clarity, that should bring direction and exactly what you need for you to participate with us. So as we move on here, our day is planned all around prospecting and sales. And although this is a foundation on how to position high level as a white label, as a co-label, this is a foundation. And there will be different add-ons you'll need to do where you'll need to add your personality. You'll need to add your industry knowledge or learn additional industry knowledge. You'll need to put the time in to have the conversations and the meetings with the folks that you're reaching out to. You'll also need to do some of the relationship outreach and building. So sales is a transactional word, right? Sometimes it comes off really blah, but I really want you to look at prospecting and sales as just you making new business owner friends. I want you to look at it as making new business owner friends. And I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a business owner. And I want you to look at it this way. If you're not a business owner yet, if you've never been one, if you are one, you'll know exactly what I mean. I want you to think of a business owner and what potential things they have to do today. Probably a long list. And the last thing they want to do today is anything that will not bring them a return on the bottom line for their business. So they're not interested in sales calls. They're not interested in hanging out. They're interested in growing their business, learning, or implementing a new product, feature, or training, right? And in order to get to that part, you need to have a human approach. You need to have follow-up, and you really need to understand the potential pain points they may be going through. And that is going to start to unlock the mindset around how do we get in front of business owners, decision makers. We have to think about what's important to them first. What is important to them first? And if we base our outreach on what's important to them first, having that servant, helpful attitude and mindset will attract the people that want the help and they want to talk to you about what the potential is. And once we start doing that, we're going to start to unlock the conversations that we need to have. And I'm going to guide you on some of the frameworks and styles and ways that have worked for myself and for others within our community of what do we say, how do we go about it, and how often do we engage, right? How often do we continue, and what's the relationship cycle look like, and how far or how long until we get to the sales business transaction end of it? And as we start to learn that process, we start to make more friends, we start to earn more trust, and we start to be able to make more business together. Making more business together is the exchange of money, trust, money, expertise, money, relationships, and a clear path to growing the business. So by the end of this training today, you're going to get a few things extra or amplified before you came in here. It's going to 10x it. And that's going to be the confidence. You're going to get some additional swag, personality, point of view, way of managing, way of balancing your mindset, your verbal judo, and the expectation of what business owners have. And then you're going to know enough to be dangerous, to get out there, just have some basic conversations, to introduce them to who you are, what you do, and the superpower you have. Okay? And if you're all in on that and you're excited about that as much as I am, go ahead and throw in the chat superhuman. Throw in the chat superhuman, because our goal is to be a superhuman that has tons of value, tons of strategy, and a heart of gold of helping people grow and get to their goals with our white label software, our strategies, and our resources. So let's jump into one of the most important parts of everything in sales is the framing and the conversation. The framing and the conversation. I want you to throw in the chat, what does framing mean to you when having sales conversations? What does framing mean to you when having sales conversations? Throw it below in the chat. And I'm going to look for the responses here, right? We've got a lot of familiar faces jumping in. Thank you. Welcome back, Devin, Mike, Jojo, Noni, Rita, Yvette. Go ahead and let me know, what does framing mean to you? When I say to you, hey, look, we're going to frame this conversation in this example so we can lead to ABC. What does framing mean to you? Okay. And I'm going to share with you what framing is. Framing is setting the boundary, setting the invincible agenda based on what you have in mind, what you want to get from your mind to their mind, based on how you have those starting first talking points that come out. So let's say, for example, I'm meeting with you. You own a yoga studio. You own a yoga studio. And I met you on a Facebook group, a local town Facebook group. I saw that you just opened up. And I reached out to you, showed support through Messenger, and you said, look, John, I'm open to learning more. You are local. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to buy anything, but I'm interested in learning what you have because I'm in the market for it. So then maybe I'm framing on the call, hey, Tara, I'm super excited that one, I can come out to see your new location. I firmly believe like the grand opening is really the most important part of any business journey because it's like the birth of our business, the birth of our vision coming to life. And that being said, I just have a couple of quick questions so I can just be respectful of your time, but more importantly, make sure I'm really honing in on what's really important to you, right? So with that in mind, can I ask you a couple quick questions, right? And then at that point, right, think about what I just said, right? And think about you as the yoga business owner, right? I initially framed our conversation with great energy. I made it about you. I highlighted that you just opened up your business, and opening up your business is giving birth to your vision. It's your baby. It's everything that you've been working towards. And now, and now you're at that phase of amazingness. And I just want to learn more about what you're doing so I can really share the value and my experience to help you get there. Right? So that's one example of right of how I will maybe set the tone, right? Right? Set the tone. Another example, which is the total opposite. And maybe I reach out, same scenario, same person, same situation. I go, hey Tara, hey, I saw I obviously caught you on Facebook, pretty cool, right? Saw that you got a business, must have been super hard, must be stressful. Like the town really is tough with like permits and stuff, so that must have sucked, right? And I look, I'm an expert. Like I know how to grow businesses. I'm really great at what I do. I'm awesome at it. I've helped a lot of people in the community. So, look, I'm more than happy to stop by, show you, kind of like walk you through what you need to do to grow your business. You cool with that? Like, I have like one question or two questions, right? And I want you like the end scene right there, right? Like, what's the difference between the first example and the second example, right? What's the tone like? What am I trying to like without sounding like super woo woo or anything? Like I'm just trying to like pass my energy onto the other person. I'm trying to pass my vibes, my good energy to them by the words I say, the tone I use, my enthusiasm and my genuine interest. Do you see a difference? Are you maybe more of that happy-go-lucky, positive thinking approach? Or are you more of the, look, I'm direct to the point, like this is what it is, this is how I can help, like I'm really good at what I do, and I have my case studies, my results. Like you win with me or you don't win at all. Like what's your mindset like? And it's okay if it's either or, because either or works for either or kind of person out in the marketplace. You have business owners that just want it straight. They want no fluff. They're not really emotional. They're very direct. So that style, that second style, would work maybe for them. And then you have others that are maybe new to business or maybe more more conscious of like how people feel, or more in tune with like the vibes, and they're like, this guy's super salesy. He's trying to like make me, max my credit card limit on some marketing that I don't even know is going to work. Right? So framing tonality is so important. And in those both of those examples, I want you to keep in mind that in order to get to phase one that you see on your screen, we got to like handle the intro. And that's pretty much the intro. The intro is like when I meet you on the Facebook group, when maybe I'm passed on your information from somebody that knows me and knows you. Maybe there's like a text thread like, hey, I want you to meet John, great guy, knows his stuff. John, meet my friend James. James is awesome. He just opened up a business, right? And now, like how I respond determines how we move forward. Right. And if I don't respond, we don't move forward. So you are the capitan to the ship, and the ship, if you turn the wheel fast too far to the right or the left, can really have a measurable impact, good or bad. So make sure you're conscious of how you talk, how you share, questions you ask, how fast you're listening, because that beginning part allows you to get to phase one, right? And I share all this because let's just call it out there. I share all this because it's important to call it out there. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of amazing people doing amazing things with amazing budgets, getting the attention of other amazing business owners. And if you don't stand out in some way, shape, or form, you are not going to get a chance to grab a seat at the table. Because if you look at it, there's large companies that offer this at scale. There's medium companies that offer this at scale. There's freelancers, boutiques, the brother, the sister, the son, the daughter that could do or claim to do what you do. And it's in the perception and the eyes of the business owner that determines what's worth it and what they're going to do and who they're going to do it with. So keeping that in mind is so important. And, there's a handful of folks that are out in the marketplace that dislike sales scripts. They dislike sales structure. They dislike sales in general. Like, John, I'm not really like the salesy guy, man. Like, I don't really like to talk about money and, I can help you with this. Like, I don't really sell anything. I'm not a salesperson. It's like below me. It's beneath me. Like, there's different mentalities and opinions around this, right? If you feel that way, that's fine. But I want you to keep in mind that you're a consultant, you're an advisor, you're a professional within the industry. Selling is really only when someone says and asks, like, how can I get started? Like, that's the only selling part. Everything you're doing prior to that is sales, consulting, coaching, advising, maybe mentoring. And all of that leads to a sale. Right? So don't look at it as sales scripts. Don't look at it as memorizing lines to repeat to a prospect, right? Because that's not going to work well for you, but that may just turn you off from even doing anything if you believe that's what I'm going to go over today. So I'm not going to go over any of that today. I'm just going to give you examples, guidelines, and guardrails to keep in mind when having business conversations around software, sales, marketing, and high level, right? And understanding people that need help. Okay. So what we've put together here at high level, and we've taught this um, challenge over challenge over challenge over challenge. If you're returning back, thank you for your patience. Um, but this framework, this bridging the system, has always worked, continues to work, and although results will vary, the guideline keeps people on track to know and learn when the next step should kick in, right? And Devin, I just saw your comment here. Can't we just make good content and sell off of our content we put out? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? But that content that you put out is going to attract people to engage with you. So, in that perfect example that Devin asked in the question, let's say you are now creating videos, you're creating YouTube clips, you're creating long form blogs, you're posting, you're out and about, you're building a brand for yourself. Someone raises their hand, they say, "Hey, Devin, what do you got? What you got, pal? What do you got for me? I got my business. I got 4 businesses. How could you help me?" So Devin sets the tone. He's like, "Oh man, that's great. Good to hear. Glad you consume the content. Glad it's helpful. Ready to take it to the next level?" Business owner says, "Yeah. What do you got? Show me what you have." Right. So while Devin is framing that excitement and energy, maybe the business owner has a skeptical approach. Maybe they're a little guarded, a little negative. You got to just take that as punches, light punches, and those are signs that they're engaged, but you just need to educate them a little bit more. So then Devin says, "All right, cool, no problem, man. I completely get it. I completely get it. Let's talk about one business first. What's that one business?" And then maybe that business tells Devin, "Devin, it's I got a bike shop. I got a bike shop, Devin, and my bike shop really isn't doing well. I know it could do better. Walmart, all these big stores are kicking our butt. Everyone wants cheap bikes. I got real great bikes. I got Cannondales. I got quality stuff." And then Devin says, "Hey, look, man, I completely get it. And that's exactly why I'm excited we're chatting, because I help you level the playing field. I help you like really, really build a brand for yourself. Like you found me on my social media. I'm going to help them find you and then make it easy for them to communicate with you." But before I get into all that, and let's just say the bike owner's name is John. John, before I get into all that, can you tell me a little bit about your story, your business? Like, how did this all get started? And that's where the guard goes down just a little bit more. And you got to stay quiet and let them talk. And then John says, "Well, business was 3 generations. We've been in the same block, same street, and we just people love us because my parents, their parents, we just we always put great stuff out, and we're family based, we're family owned and operated." And then he's elaborating a little bit into how the business started, and now the key thing here is the active listening part. So then Devin asked John, "So mom, dad started this from their mom and dad, your great grandparents, which is amazing. What is your vision? What is your story now that you've been in charge? Like, how long have you been running this for?" And then maybe John says, like, "I've been running it for 3 years and I feel like I'm running it down the hill. And it's been hard and it's been tough and people aren't just the same like they used to be." And he's venting a little bit, right? And maybe he's not, right? There's so many different scenarios. And as you do these conversations, um, once you do these conversations, you'll really, 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 really um understand how people think, and you'll almost be able to fill the gaps in for them. And maybe he's just like very, very limited on what he shares. So you need to do some work with just engaging. Right. So whether he's chatty or not, you want to start understanding when the business got started, how it got started. Great. What is the state of the business now? Like John, could you share with me what's going great right now for you? And what do you wish was going better? And maybe John at this point is saying, Well, we got a bunch of new Cannondales. We just signed a new agreement with some electric bikes. The electric bikes are running off the shelf quicker than the traditional bikes. So we're thinking about shifting our whole business model to electric bikes. Because these millennials, they don't want to pedal anymore. And I say, man, I'm right there with them. How about that? I'm right there with them. But I'm glad you pivoted. And then we go into electric bikes a little bit. Let him share his expertise on electric bikes. Maybe you learn a few things from electric bike, discussion. And you say, well, can you help me understand what your plan is to start promoting this just a bit more? And then maybe he says, well, I really haven't thought about that. And then that's when you go, that's exactly why I'm glad I'm here. Because that's exactly what I believe I can help you with. But before we get into all that strategy and marketing stuff, help me understand how long this has kind of been on your mind. You've been trying to like fix all this stuff yourself. Maybe he says, look, man, it's been like a good year, man. It's been tough. And, the pandemic happened and then this happened. And then, I had to get a second job because I couldn't afford this. And like, you start to hear like the pain, or maybe he doesn't tell you any of that. You got to gauge the conversation and work with what you actively hear and then use that into pivoting to the next step of the conversation. So you always want to pick up what they said last, somehow tied to where you want it to go next. So John, look, I don't want to add more to what maybe you've been experiencing, right? It sounds like you're persevering well. It sounds like you have thick skin. It sounds like you're determined to win, right? And today I just want to learn a little bit more about like the state of your business now. I'll probably need a few hours just to do some research and some note taking and kind of just balance a few things out. And my promise to you that if it's not at the end of this conversation, but at least by the end of business day tomorrow, I'll have some concrete ways of how I could potentially help you. We'll hash out the process, the numbers, if we're a good fit, and we'll go from there. Does that work for you? And John says, yeah, man, that's fair. Right. So now we're dropping the guard down a little bit more because we listened, we adapted, we actively pivoted, we set an agenda, we set expectations, and now we're starting to earn trust and attention. And trust and attention is the fuel through phase 1, through phase 2, through phase 3, all the way to the end of making the relationship. And as we're going into the numbers phase, right, we're pivoting into the numbers phase. And here's a transition statement that I might use. Look, John, it sounds like from a business perspective, you have a great product. You've made some adjustments in that product. You've realigned some of the financial goals, the expectations, and looks like you're solid. Am I right? Great. I want to elaborate a little bit on the volume of bikes you have and how long and the process. If somebody wants this bike, is there certain criteria? What's the price point? What is the buying process of buying one of these electric bikes? And that just gives him another chance to really explain his expertise, feel comfortable, confident about his business, sharing that story with you. And then you're listening, you're learning as you go. You're learning as you go. And you're using that information to best make a decision of what you could really do to help. And then maybe, for example, he says, look, I got, a bunch of bikes. I have a limited version of these. They're pretty quick to get in and out. The price point's about $2,500 to $5,000. And, right now I have about 30 in the back. I got 5 pre-orders, but I know others that are doing more. And then maybe I then say, well, let's help me understand that a little bit more. What do you mean that you could be doing more and that others are doing more? Like, where are you getting this information from in regards to what others are doing? Well, like I'm part of a group on Facebook and I'm part of like an association and I have a coach, I have a mentor, and he works with other, like you're going to start to understand where they're getting their information, where they get their guidance, and that's all important to you because that's who you may be partnering up with as well. That may be who you may be partnering up with as well during the sales cycle. So you understand this whole flow and you say, look, it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you got enough inventory to support high volume, high awareness, high traffic. If you need more, it's easy to get. The bike is quality. You're comfortable, confident with the product. You have very little to no returns. Safety issues check out all great. It sounds like we got something here that is a hidden gem. And then John's going to say, yeah, absolutely, for sure. It is a hidden gem, man. Here's the problem. Like, no one, like, people don't know it. They'd rather buy it on Amazon, or they'd rather buy it on some website from another world, or they'd rather buy like the cheaper version. Like, he's going to go on a tangent. And that's a sign that you are connected. See, if people aren't going on a little bit of a tangent, they're not going on a little bit of a high tone, mid tone, varying tone. They're not sharing information like that. They're not connected to you. And they're just sitting with their arms crossed, like, all right, pal, what do you got? How much does it cost? You got to get out of here in 15 minutes because I got to take another phone call and I got things to do. So keep in mind that not every first meeting, whether it's on phone, virtual, or in person, is going to be amazing. You may need to return back. You may need to prove a little bit more value. And here's the kicker. You have the choice if it's worth your time. You have the choice if it's worth your time. And here's what I mean by that. You have an amazing, powerful operating system that whether you decide to white label it or co-label it, or just be a service provider for those that have it already, your system and your AI chat assistant is powerful. That's one. Two, because you have a powerful system, it gives you time and excitement to learn and grow knowledge base so you could position and earn trust and new business from that powerful operating system. So you are worthy of what you're doing. And because someone may not see that worthiness right away, doesn't mean that you should not continue to do what you do. So you will find two things that happen in your sales and prospecting journey. One, you meet somebody, you click, they flake on you, they disappear like Houdini. That's fine. It just wasn't the right time. They were a little embarrassed to share that things aren't ready, or maybe you gave them so much value that they got overwhelmed and scared. Happens. Two, you meet somebody that is a know-it-all. They're spending more time back and forth with you, trying to prove you wrong. I'm better, I'm this, I'm that, that's bull, this and that, the other. And you exhaust yourself and you get nothing out of it. That's somebody that it's okay to just move on from and don't go back to. Right? Then you got somebody that maybe is not the business owner or the decision maker, but maybe they're the marketing manager, they're the operations director, maybe they're the son, daughter, brother, wife, husband of the owner. They are the middle person, but makes all the decisions, and the likelihood of them being the power user of the software is a high percentage. What do I mean by that? Many owners aren't using the software themselves every day. They have the software, they have their staff, they have their managers, they have their directors, they have their family. Whoever's in the business on the day-to-day operations is using the software. They're just paying for it and maintaining the security or maybe the vision of how they want it to be used. So it might be the other way around. You might need to meet the business owner to get the okay to meet with the potential power user, which could be anyone. And then the power user learns everything, sees where it fits in their business, the ecosystem, their knowledge, their interest. And then they tell the owner, can we do this? Can we get this? This is perfect. This is what we've been needing. And then that relationship turns into a different way, a different perspective to be prepared for. So if you understand these different examples, if you're understanding the framing, the conversation, the active listening, the person that is guarded, the person that's open, the person that's chatty, the person that's defensive, that there's no set way. Like Mondays aren't the best day. Tuesdays aren't the best day. Thursdays and Fridays aren't the best. Like there's no best day. There's no like guarantee. You're literally running into scenarios of all different types every moment in sales as a whole. If you understand that, you could relate to it, you have an example or an experience, go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm giving as much value as I can. I want it back. I'm going to be selfish today. I want the value back. So give me what you got, or ask great questions to help inspire and help us get to where we all need to go. So as we start transitioning that, a transition statement now to the conditions could be around, so, you've obviously showed me the bikes. I'm excited about it. I'm thinking that this would be perfect for me because I love going down the shore, and I just, when it's 95 degrees, I'm not in the mood to pedal. So if I could do a nice stroll down the shore, I'm happy, right? And it's worth it to me. It's fun. With how I buy this, could you share with me, like, where would I find you to buy this from you? Where would I find this to buy this from you? And this is where we start to get in the conversation around their visibility, their communication, their opportunity, their customer journey. And maybe John says, look, I go by referrals only. People typically find me through a text message or family or friend, and they contact me, they walk in. Okay. So John, help me understand this, just so I have clarity on it. Couple quick questions. I'm going to throw them fast at you because we're almost at time here, and I want to be respectful of your time. Do you have a website that I can buy this from? No. Do you have a way that I can ask a question online or do some research around the product? Maybe see some frequently asked questions, a manual, a PDF, something about what you offer? No. Okay. Do you have something on social media? Maybe Facebook, TikTok, something online? No. Okay. So John, direct question, if you don't mind, because now by this time, y'all, like, we have a great rapport. You can get a feel of, like, when people want you to cut to the brass tacks, they want you to like, let's get down to the meat and potatoes. Like, what are we doing here? You'll have to really listen in and take those clues and cues. So in this example, I'm just going to say, hey, John, like, so how does somebody really find you then? I don't do online. Okay, no problem. That's exactly why I'm here and exactly how I can help you. Let's map this out together. Couple quick questions, John. I got a strategy in mind already. I might need some more time to add on a few things, but can I give you a version 1 of what I'm thinking? Yeah, man, that's fine. Cool. So, questions around a few important parts of all this. In the shop, do you do any Amazon, eBay, any selling online, any platform online? No. You've tried eBay. Okay. How did that work? Oh, sorry to hear. Okay. Who handles the day-to-day operation at the shop here when you're not here? Okay, great. Are they here all the time? What are their hours? Like, are they like part-time? Oh, they're here all the time with you. Okay, great. So everything I'm going to put in place from a recommendation standpoint is going to have them as the driver, you as the observer, but we're going to show you and guide you on how you can drive or observe whenever you want. Okay? And we got to first start with educating our audience, our neighbors, that we exist and that we have an amazing product, which are your e-bikes. Cool with that? Great. So now I've set the foundation from phase 1 to phase 4. I pretty much have all the information I need of who, what, where, how, and why. And now I could say this transition statement. Would you mind if I gave you just a sneak peek of what other e-bike locations are doing online and how they're getting sales online from all over the world without having a in-person location? And then maybe John's like, what do you mean? Let me show you. There's a handful of companies out there that make it easy to go on their website, make it easy to chat and ask questions about their products, make it easy to buy or order or request information about an e-bike, no matter the time or day. And people typically do this in the convenience of their home, whether they're on the toilet, in the bed, on the couch, or taking a walk around the neighborhood. But they're doing everything from their phone. So I want to just show you from your phone how my website, let's pretend it's an e-bike website, how my website, if you visit it, no matter what you're doing and no matter what time you're doing it, it will have a conversation with you and give you what you need when you want it. And then I'll show you some examples of some other e-bike companies that are allowing you to do the same thing. You okay with that? Great. So what I've done in this entire example is have an organized conversation guiding through the principles of what information I need, being courteous and conscious of how they may be feeling, whether it's defensive, open, little nervous, unsure, and then taking that information each time I collect it, transitioning it smoothly by actively listening, mentioning a piece or a part of it, and going into the next phase of, in my mind, the framework I want to follow for them to say yes to a demo. They want to see this in action. But before I just throw my phone at them, I need to build some trust, knowledge, and relationship, because I can, after the demo, they may disappear or say, I got to go. So I need something to come back to, some information, some notes, some knowledge to say, well, John, remember when we spoke about these different parts? Well, that's exactly what I'm preparing to help you with. Although there'll be some heavy lifting, here's where we could start now. And that allows you to complete everything on this bridging the system map to help them say yes, to learn more, and to be open-minded. Go ahead and throw in the chat what you think about it. Thank you for the shout out, Devin. Didn't mean to put you on the spot here as my virtual example, but you lit the firecracker, man, by just engaging. So I had to jump into it with you. But definitely, for all of you, again, no matter what type of business person you are, let me know what value you got out of it. Let me know what flow, what maybe takeaway, what aha moment, maybe what you're open to trying out. Maybe my style doesn't fit your style at all. Maybe you're like, yo, this guy, I don't know if he watched this or did this or all he does is sales, but that's not my style. It's not for everyone. But the bridging the system is. Because the bridging the system allows you to add your style in a structured format to earn trust, build rapport, and have a chance at helping someone grow their business to earn their business. So I'm going to wait for those comments. Kevin, thanks for the shout out. Jojo, Kama, thank you all for the support. This sales stuff could be a little boring sometimes. It could be a little bit like, I know it already, but you got to be open-minded. And I think that's the biggest part here. And that's when we're students of the game, we get really good at it. All of our athletes that we admire, we follow, our teams, man, all the work is done during the practice. They just execute when it's game time. But all the work is happening behind the scenes. And that's exactly what you need to do, whether it's looking at a mirror, recording yourself, partnering up with someone in the Facebook group, hosting your own office hours amongst people, positioning each other in those types of conversations. Do what you got to do, but don't do it alone. And don't do it just once. So I want to talk a little bit about right. I just got done saying that sales scripts are no go. They're not fun. And again, these are just frameworks. These are ideas. I'm going to show you some ways on how I will take an idea and then remix it, right? Remix the idea and then make it mine and then put it out there, right? So our goal here, again, not to shy away from our core offer, is the AI receptionist tool. And we know that the AI receptionist tool pretty much, is your 24-hour support executive assistant that's handling all the questions that are asked for the answers that you trained it. So whatever business you have, as long as you know the frequently asked questions, as long as you're comfortable and confident with that you could deliver on those answers, train the bot and let it do its thing. And what it'll do over time is that it'll start to grab a question, run through a couple different variations of how it could be asked, and then find the answer to support that question. That's the training. That's the training of the bot that you'll do during setup, and you'll always do it for you, for your bot, and for your clients. So let's just say here we're ready to go on. It's the end of the training, and we got a few people that we already know. We got a few people that we already know. So we send them a message. Hey, Lewis, it's been a minute. I want to reconnect with you. I've been seeing you on Facebook crush it. Congrats on your business. I wanted to run a few things by you. I noticed you doing a lot of great things for your business. I was hoping to see if you can maybe take a look at what I'm doing now, and I'd love to get your opinion. I know this email might be a little random out of nowhere, but I didn't want to call you and interrupt. When would be a good time for us to connect? I can send you a Zoom link, or we could talk by phone. I also want to know a little bit more how I can send people your way that'll benefit your business, because I'm still in town, and I'm planning on stopping by your place soon. But as a quick note, I'm working on a new software that allows business owners to not worry about the tedious answering of questions that are asked over and over and over. And I would love for you to see it in action and get your input on it. What's a good time that we can connect, whether it's today or tomorrow? 15 minutes should be enough. Looking forward to connect and hope all is well with the family. Right? So what I just said there to Lewis is a little different than what's on the screen. What I just sent to Lewis, and maybe I sent this to Lewis in a text message, just a little shorter. Maybe I sent this to Lewis in a pre-recorded video that I took on my phone. Maybe I sent this to Lewis through a messenger or email. Or maybe I just stopped by his place and just had a normal conversation around the framework and information I said. Does that seem realistic to you to share with someone that you already know about what you're doing? Does that seem realistic to you? Do you see that you can potentially maybe shorten it, add your personality, maybe practice something similar consistently so it comes off naturally? Let me know in the chat. Because that's the first start of all this, man. Our talk track, our swag, our personality, our just how the tongue rolls is the most important part. Because if I go something like this, hey, Lewis, what's going on, man? I'm thinking about a few things here, and I kind of just saw you have a new biz up, and congrats, bro. I'll just shoot right to the point. I would love to sign you up for my new software. It's going to help you grow your business. I've seen a lot of people use it already. They're killing it. Got some time to talk later today or tomorrow? Like, that's so crazy. Like, but that may work. right? Like that may work. So whatever you're going to say it with confidence, say it with practice, so that way you can eliminate the uhs and the ums. You want to eliminate the excessive pauses. You want to be able to train your brain to know if you close your eyes, you could see the words in front of your face and you could smoothly share and ask and talk with a flow. That's your goal. Whether it's short, medium, or long, just get comfortable with saying it naturally. Now, in our day 3 of our membership course, we have a short, sweet, to the point example, right? And you could take a screenshot of this as well. But this is just the foundation. You got to make it your own. You got to add your personality. You got to practice, right? You get the point already, right? And I want to just show you another way that you could be a little bit more creative, right? So let's say what I like to do is a lot of text to talk. So I'll go into my Google Doc and I'm going to do an example here. Hey, I'm planning to reach out to an old friend that I'm connected with on Facebook. Great guy. I just saw that he opened up a brand new business. I haven't spoken to him in a while, so I want to make sure that I'm not coming off weird out of nowhere. But really, here's the point I'm trying to make when I connect with them. I want to know more about their business. I want to understand how I can maybe help them, drive more friends and family over to support their business. But for me personally, because I'm launching my new business and because they're doing that now, I would love to get their advice, opinion, and feedback around what I'm doing with my new software, also known as an AI chat assistant service, and really just come off genuine, thoughtful, and I want to just get their advice because I believe I have something that can help them, but also I would like some help on helping others, right? Can you please review the details that I've included here in parentheses because I want to find a few variations that I can use to make some text message and email outreaches to an old friend, and I don't want to come off salesy, period. Can you give me 5 text message versions and 5 email versions using what's in the parentheses as a guide, right? And there's so many ways to do this, friends. There's so many different styles and there's so many different guides on leveraging ChatGPT, so many different ways to do so many different things, right? So here's what's worked for me. I talk to ChatGPT like a human being that I'm asking advice for. I'm looking for guidance. And most of the time, it comes through for me very well. And then I tweak it. And I'm learning more and more about the prompts as I go. So let's see what this does for us. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm going to put myself in your shoes. I enjoyed John's training, very informative, but his style's not my style. And I don't think his email script or his way of approaching it is going to work in my area. So I need to really create my own way of saying something. This is how you do it. So I'm going to share with you how you do it. And you can use this as an inspiration or as a call to action to go in depth a little bit more. Let's see what this spits out. Let me know in the comments as you're reading this, your honest opinion, what you feel. Give me your honest feedback. Give me your constructive feedback. Let me know if this is realistic, if it makes sense, if it's efficient for you, if it's something you'll consider learning and practicing. And Jojo, to answer your question, I'm just using the regular ChatGPT 3.5. I got the free version. I'm sure the 4.0 is great. Sure, it's like a rocket ship in itself, but this does the job for me for right now. Yep. Cool. So let's scroll up here. Here's my results. I asked for a text message. I asked for email versions. I got a foundation. I'm able to throw this, copy paste this. Hey, John, it's been a while. Just saw you opened up a new business. Congrats. I'd love to hear more about it and see how I can help support you. Also, I'm launching a new AI chat assistant service and would love to get your advice on it. Let's catch up soon. Maybe there's a few things we tweak, but this is the foundation. Hey, John, hope you're doing well, man. Notice your new business on Facebook. Looks amazing. I'd love to learn more about it, see how I can help spread the word. Plus, I'm starting an AI chat assistant service and would really appreciate your feedback. Could we chat sometime? Hey, John, congrats on the new business. It's been a while since we last spoke. I'd love to know more about what you're doing and see if there's any way I can help support you. Also, I'm working on it. Like maybe as I'm reading this, maybe we don't include the whole AI chat in the same text, right? So maybe I go this route. I'm going to do the voice thing. I get a little impatient, folks, and I just want it fast. And, I don't want to type so much. So I really like option 2 and 4 of the text messages that you created for me. The only problem I see is that I'm mentioning what I'm doing so quick. Could you create a text message dialogue that once they reply back, I could pivot smoothly into introducing what I do? Right? So I'm taking what I want for it to do. Like I basically want this thing to like give me 3 or 4 scenarios that if they say this, I would say this, because I'm like really direct. So like if it can help me create a little bit of emotion, or it can help me like create a little bit of a transition, I'll take it all day, right? So let's see what this says here. Okay, so the initial message, hope you're doing well. Notice your business on Facebook looks amazing. I'd love to learn more about it and see how I can help spread the word. Could we chat sometime? Maybe they say, yeah, sure, man, what's new? Or yeah, man, stop by. That sounds fantastic. By the way, I've been working on launching a new AI chat assistant. So you guys get the drift here. You guys see the example, right? So now let me do this. I'm going to do one more, and I want to do this one more so you get to see how, and this might sound a little cheesy, but as you build a relationship of trust with ChatGPT, right? You start to organically, naturally ask it questions, share scenarios, really, share what you feel so it can take that and put it into a finished product. So here's what I'm going to do. This is the last one before we move on. I love all of the examples you gave me. They're amazing. But I got to be honest with you, I'm horrible at sales. And I'm not the best people person. Can you create for me 5 scenarios of a text message that has me reaching out, congratulating them that I seen their business just opened up. I'm happy for them, all is well. And could you create within that dialogue some examples of what their reply may be? And with that reply that they may send back to me, What's the best way to respond? Okay. That's being pretty transparent. That's being pretty transparent to ChatGPT. And I don't know if it can handle it, but we're going to give it a shot. I had to put a little pause there for effect, but I'm in shock. My first time doing this. First time doing this. Um, First time doing this. What's y'all opinion on this? What's y'all opinion on this? Tuned in on Facebook, on YouTube. What's your opinion? Does this help you? Does this impress you a little bit? Are you more open-minded around the use of ChatGPT, or maybe leveraging AI to help you build upon better conversations, scenarios, strategies? Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Right here, let's just say scenario 4. Initial text message I send out. Hey, John, congrats on the new business. It's been a while since we last spoke. I'd love to know more about what you're doing and seeing if there's any way I can help you support you. When's a good time to chat? Peter responds back. Peter Stotesbury responds back. Hey, John, thank you. I'd love to catch up. Are you free next week? I respond back to Peter. Next week works for me. Let me know what day's good for you. I'm excited to hear about your business, and I've been working on something new myself that I love to get your thoughts on. Talk soon. Peter, what's your thought on that? Oh, you just said looks good here, right? Let me go to the next one. Let's just see what we got here. I'm gonna pretend I'm sending a message to Kevin Nope. Kevin Nope, this is a message for you. Hey Kevin, it's amazing to see your new business. Let me do another one. I'm gonna do scenario 2. Hey Kevin, it's great to see your new business. Congratulations. I'd love to hear more about it and find ways to support you. When's a good time to connect? Kevin Nope responds back, hey John, thanks. I'm free Friday afternoon. Does that work for you? I respond back to Kevin, Friday afternoon works for me, man. Looking forward to catching up and learning more about your venture. I've got something exciting I'm working on too. I love your feedback on it. Talk to you Friday. Right? So let's wrap this lesson up here. Right? Jay Savda says, LOL, reading this right now. I know it's crazy, man. This is crazy. Right? This is where technology is. This is what we're doing here. So let's leverage it. So if you're not a salesy, no worries. You're not an extrovert, no worries. Really don't have that whole text message manner, the whole, I'm not really a happy-go-lucky texting kind of guy or gal, no worries. Throw in a scenario, do like what I did here, right? Walk you right through it, right? Just go to your format in your Google Doc or your Microsoft Doc. Not format, it's tools. Go to voice typing. This button will pop up, hit record, talk to the document, copy paste it, let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Okay? And you're going to go from there. How are we feeling? How are we feeling, guys, gals, friends? Feeling good? The confidence level gone up a little bit more? Maybe the strategy that you had in mind is really coming together. It's validating what you've been thinking about. Maybe this sounds a lot easier and interesting than it did originally when you heard the title Sales and Prospecting. Let me know what you feel about that. Let's get into this. So we talked about sending this to familiar people. Dream 100, building on existing relationships, has everything to do with creating a list of familiar contacts, reaching out to them. I already gave you the framework. I already gave you the cheat code. I already gave you the strategy. I already gave you a way to fast track this and catch momentum without analyzing and paralyzing your mind. How many of you suffer paralysis by analysis? You're like, oh man, like this idea and this idea, and you're like 50 bullet points. You're like, oh, I can't do this, but I can do this, and you got nothing done. Let's get it done. You're going to prioritize those responses based on obviously who reaches back out, the relationship of that relationship, the strength of that relationship. Then you're going to initiate personalized outreach. You'll use some of the examples we did here in the text. Use it for Messenger, use it for email, stop by in person. All of the above work great because they're familiar. They know of you, especially if they're connected on Facebook. You know how many people I'm connected to on Facebook that I don't even know personally? And out of the people on Facebook that I know, there's more people that I don't know that comment and like on my stuff and show me support than the people that I'm the closest to. How about that? So leveraging your local Facebook group and page is awareness and branding. And believe it or not, if you post often, like Devin had recommended, put out content, put a lot of good content out, you're going to become more familiar and they're going to have a parasocial relationship with you. A parasocial relationship with you. I did a workshop with Krista Mayshore last week, the brand accelerator, and I learned so much stuff from her. And she says, people have a power relationship with you. They don't even know you personally, but they know of you. They see your stuff, right? Keep pushing out content. That's what I want you to do here. Push out content, share your story, share your personality, and people will be attracted to do business with you. And as you're getting more familiar contacts that are more receptive to your message, you're utilizing the familiarity, you're focusing on building relationships, nurturing them, that will eventually get you existing trust to become customers. And I hate to use the word customers in this case, but really trusted relationships to help them grow their business. Because that's what really matters. And then you have the opportunity to understand their business, research their business. It's worth your time. It's so like, imagine this, y'all. I go onto Google. I spend like an hour and a half finding businesses with maybe crappy website, crappy reviews, whatever. And I do all this research. I'd spend about 30 minutes on each person. I create like a 5-page, analysis. I go buy cookies and I bring the cookies in person, and, I show up in a nice blazer, jeans, personality, and they're like, who the heck are you? And what are you doing? And it's all because I skipped the relationship part and the introduction part, and I just assumed the close because I assumed that I was going to be their life-saving business person to help them out. And they don't even need help. Even though their website or their reviews or whatever is garbage, they don't even need help. So it's important before you jump the gun that you meet, talk, build relationships with those that are familiar with you, within your arm's reach, your social media reach. Get them to acknowledge and want information, and then you could evolve into getting referrals and going from there. But just don't randomly put hours or half hours of time into strangers, because you're going to get knocked down and feel really bad. And I've been there because I was afraid of spending the time and like having conversations. So I'll just buy cookies and I'll stop in and I'll use some charisma and be okay. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Especially today where the trust factor is so low and there's so many people doing what you offer, what I offer, that really comes down to relationships and knowledge and the confidence that you can do what you say you could do for them. Okay? And then, once you got that two-way conversation going, whether it's social media, text, in person, email, then it's worth your time researching the target business, exploring how you can help them, and then tailoring messaging to them. And you want to look at a few things once you get past that, like green light to communicate and really, maybe have a time to chat, or They're expecting your outreach. You want to see a few things. Are they easy to communicate with? Do they have a live chat feature now? Do they even have an internet presence now? What's the loss that they may or may not be aware of? And what's the least worst and what's the worst? And then going through their website, right? Just basic analysis. So in high level, we have the prospector tool. I showed you all that yesterday. It's under the agency view prospector tool. It gives you a full analysis once you put the business name, address, phone number, all the jazz. If they're listed on Google, it'll pull back results. That whole analysis can be done for you in 3 to 7 minutes, but you still need to be familiar with the aesthetic. So I always recommend, although that report might be doing the work for you, jump on their website and get familiar with it briefly. So as you navigate it, you can say, hey, look, your desktop website looks great. Your mobile is in a different language and everything's upside down. Did you know that? Right? These are things that you may not, that our technology may not find, or that, it's different because it's on the actual phone. And obviously personalization, right? Building upon the relationships like I mentioned, and get to know people for people. Get to know people for people. It pays off. 1, you make friends. 2, you make referrals. And 3, you feel good if it turns into a transaction, and you feel even better if it doesn't, because it was worth your time. And it's important to ask open-ended questions, like we went over in the bridging the gap system. We went over the bridging the gap system first because, right, like everything else after that really means nothing if you don't bridge the system with a solid conversation. It means nothing. So you want to have a nice solid conversation, and then you want to just get a little bit more into what's going on in their world. Actively listen, adapt approach, build trust, and keep it moving in all the right direction together. And obviously, right, being concise yet friendly. Don't pry in on personal life. Don't talk politics. Stay away from sports if you like the opposing rival team. If you don't know much about sports, try to avoid it because they might throw a bunch of sports stats on you and then you look like a deer in headlights. I've been there. Right? Use informal, natural human language. Personalize your conversation. Reference things that are relevant. Don't talk about Cincinnati if you guys are talking about something around books you're reading, right? Like have some good social skills. And if there's YouTube videos on this, if you need to look up a YouTube video, I've been there, done that too. Educate yourself on just human communication skills. It'll help. Offering value and engaging questions is also important, right? Don't be the talker. Be the look at it as almost like a podcast, facilitating a conversation, right? Don't make it crazy dramatic, but be interested, and right, even get them to naturally be excited about sharing what they have going on. And there's several outreach messages here, right? These are text messages. Again, I showed you a concept that you can really make this to your voice and really have many options. These are not set in stone. These are not what you have to use. This is just a placeholder to show you some examples. And again, the takeaway here is really, maybe adding some emoji, some informal talk, right? Some professional but kind, not super perfect, right? And just really making it human-like. And then as we go into there, right, you need to know at some point, what does your product do? Like, what is your storyline? So here's my storyline, right? Look, Joe, I'm glad you asked what I've been up to. Like, life has been great, right, man? The kids, the family, everything's going great. I ended up, switching, some of my passions, and I followed some new passions. And, I was introduced to this new venture around software as a service to help people streamline and use AI. And at first I was like, what's this about? And as I started studying it, getting in depth on it, I was like, this could be a game changer. This could be a huge game changer, especially with my experience in the home services industry. I mean, I could help a lot of people really stop worrying about the stuff that takes up most of their time and holds up their revenue. So as I was thinking about this, I'm thinking, how can I incorporate this in the home services industry? I was thinking about my experiences, people that, obviously, our chats and stuff. And I said, let me set up this AI receptionist, similar to like a customer service rep, a CSR, that no matter the time or day, that CSR has only three functions anyway, right? Three core functions: positive, energetic, tonality. Ask 6 questions to understand where and what they need to do next to get the person the service they need. And be available to book an appointment either for service or for a call back by a supervisor or a specialist. And I said to myself, like, okay, if this could do that, then I can add all my industry experience knowledge to make it happen. I started playing around with it, doing some beta tests, and boom, it's been working great. We throw it on the website. It replaces a person that would have to work overtime and be away from their family. But also, it responds quick, professional and proper, perfect spelling every time, gives the answers it needs, gives me the data, and I don't feel like I don't ever have to worry about call outs and issues around it, especially during the holidays and late hours and weekends. So as I installed this on a few businesses that we know a lot of people, um, it's worked great, great, great. And that's where I was like, I saw you on Facebook doing what you do. I said, I'd love to give you a sneak peek of this before I get ready to launch this, to the public, see how it works for you. Now you're not in the home services business. You're obviously um, in the personal training business, but you have similar problems like I have and others have. Is I'm one person, I'm giving my undivided attention, and I can't be on my phone while I'm working. So I think you'll be thrilled once I set up this beta for you to test out. I love to know your thoughts, but I love for you to really challenge it and see what it could really, how you could break it. And then if it makes sense, you can let me know if you're interested in maybe us, extending that beta or that pilot into a paid trial. I love to show you how that works. Or maybe you say, look, not for me, John, but I got a few buddies that I think this would really work out great for. I'd be looking forward to, if you're down for it, man, I can set it up for you pretty quickly. What are your thoughts? Awesome, bro. I'm excited. Let's do this, man. Yeah, this is, I mean, you know how it is. Now we're always moving and grooving. Then we got the kids, it's summertime. We're running around. Like sometimes we want to get away from the business and really get away from the business. Right? So I'm pumped. Let me do this here. I'm gonna set this up on your phone, just so you could see the demo on how this works. And then what I do while I do that, I'm going to just pull up a quick form here. I'm gonna need some information from you, and then I can get my team working on this. What are your thoughts? What cool, right? So let me ask you for your feedback here. In that example, this was my storyline that you see on the screen here. Let me share my screen again. This was my storyline. Okay. And I didn't read it word for word. I've obviously been practicing this. This is like maybe my seventh or eighth challenge doing this. So it's not like I'm just, I've been doing this forever. I've been in the industry for a good amount of time, but not like doing AI stuff. But I pretty much took the core bolts of the machine and kept them in there, and I just kind of made some adjustments as I went along. What's your thought? How did that sound to you? Do you feel comfortable doing that? Do you believe that if you set aside 15 minutes a day You recite this word for word. Then you start adding tweaks and adjustments and maybe personality to it. And then read that over and over a bit, that you'll get really good at saying it and speaking it without reading it. What are your thoughts? Give me your feedback. With my example, did it resonate with you? Did it feel real? Did it sound crisp and simple? Or was it just overcomplicated and I lost you the first 3 minutes? Let me know how you received that example, because it's important to me that you, as my potential customer, understood what I was trying to say and got my message across directly. I'll look out for that, for those responses. I'm going to move on here. So as we're doing this, you'll see there's some repetitiveness around this. Yes, we want to have a warm greeting. We want to establish rapport. We want to speak confidently. We want to listen. We want to ask questions. We want to maintain a natural tone. And ultimately, you'll have people that are having conversations with you, and they'll then be feedback and engagement. And then you've earned the right to follow up. Then you've earned the right to continue the conversation, but avoid being too persistent, and make sure you're providing value and addressing right concerns. Don't take no personal. Take no as you just got to work a little bit harder to prove value, and right now may not be the time. And your overall goal with the Dream 100 is to go through your social media, go through your phone, go through your email, go through your LinkedIn, go through your Instagram. Whether you know them personally or not, you want to start with those that you have a more stronger connection with. And then you want to put those that you don't have a stronger connection with on the bottom. And you want to just look at their page, see what they've been up to, and start a conversation. And like I mentioned before, you can start a conversation a couple different ways: with a text, with a recorded video, with a voice message, with a phone call, or with a meme. Your choice. So if y'all found value with that, if it maybe tightened some thoughts around things you've tried to do in the past that you might have failed at, things that you thought of but you never pulled the foot forward on, well, then that's your sign. That's your nudge to get back to the basics. Get back to the basics. And if you don't have 100 people, let's start with 5. Let's start with 10. Let's start with 25. But what if you don't even have 5, 10, 25? Right? What if you don't have 5, 10, 25? John, I'm really like in the tough part of my life right now. I don't have a lot of friends. I just moved to a new area. I've been stressed out. I've been running around. I've been trying to find my niche. I'm trying to find my flow. So I really stopped talking to a lot of people. If you've experienced that, I don't need you to acknowledge it through the message. Please, keep that as your privacy. But I want you to know that I'm going to give you an avenue to make new friends, to make new relationships. And we're going to do so this way. So if that was an excuse or a setback, well, I just took the paper and I crumbled it. I'm throwing it in the trash. Because here's the solution. We're going to equip ourselves with a positive attitude, great energy to meet new people virtually. How are we going to do that? There's virtual networking groups that I've personally put myself into. I've met many people. I've built a local business brand of myself. I've made friends. It's been amazing. And again, it's like the Facebook approach. You got more people on Facebook that don't know you that comment and like than those that do. Well, you meet more people at networking events that are actually into business and into personal development, and they're willing to have better conversations than with someone that you already know that would rather talk about sports, memes, or gossip. So lean forward towards networking. There's a few areas out there that you can start. All of them allow you to enter for free as a guest. Sometimes it's one time as a guest, sometimes it's three. Sometimes there's a guest that's unlimited, but they offer you do a membership for other events. These are the groups. We're going to go in depth on them. There's also other areas that you can expand into. The local Chamber of Commerce, if you go into Google, you type in your city, state, type in Chamber of Commerce, you'll see a list. Industry associations, business networking groups, professional meetups, professional or personal meetup groups. There's trade shows and expos. There's local business events. There's church events around business topics. There's professional development workshops by the SBDC and other groups and organizations. There's university, college, vocational, alumni events. Figure out what attracts you, what you feel most comfortable with, and start somewhere. But John, I'm not really savvy on this. I've never done it before. I don't know where to start. Take a screenshot of this. This is going to give you exactly how to look up these events in your local market. No matter what part of the world you're in, there's someone hosting one of these. And if it's not in your part of the world that they do this, in my world they do, and this is how you find them. So take that screenshot. And if you got a lot of friends in network and you're a chatty, open, friendly person, then you'll love this too. Right? So what's the goal? Goal is to make friends, make business owner friends. I want you to fill up your phone with business like-minded professionals that want to grow, learn, and earn, help others. They have abundant mindsets. They want some help, and you have the superpower of helping them with their business. And maybe they have the superpower of some wisdom, some life experiences, or some relationships that they can help you introduce you to. But at the end of the day, it's a two-way street. Sometimes you have to be the facilitator to start off, provide valuable insight, explore benefits of working together, understand their business, understand their needs and challenges, right? Take full control of the relationship and allow them to organically jump in as needed. So that way you guys have an awesome time together. If both of you are defensive and shy, it ain't gonna work. So be the one to take control and make it happen. And then overall, you start building these business owner friends. They show you what you do. Like, here's one thing I used to love, right? When I used to meet someone at a networking event, I really knew that things were in sync when they started showing me some photos of their family. Maybe they showed me a photo of their new motorcycle, their new car, their hobbies, their boat. And then I was like, well, like, awesome, man. Like, and then they say, John, what do you got? Like, and then there were other times where they're like, they don't care what I got. So there was times where it was like a one-way conversation. Like, they don't care about my family. They don't care about me. They're just yapping away. And here's how I balanced that. I just kept them yapping. And I navigated the yapping by asking the strategic questions to where we both can meet together. And it just took a little bit of time sometimes. And sometimes people do that on purpose because they want to scare you away, because they don't want to say no. They think you're going to sell them something. So they just act obnoxious, and you'll kind of see that for yourself as you go. Maybe you want to stay away from those people, but maybe it's a hidden relationship that they're just defensive because they've been burned so much. But the overall goal is that if you make a strong enough friendship relationship to the point where you're texting, or you're part of a group text, or you're seeing them every week, whether it's virtually or in person, you'll be able to eventually say, hey, can I show you how this works? Or, hey, when you have a chance, go to this link and see for yourself. And that's how I've purposely have set up your AI chat website. By now, you should have that set up. As a matter of fact, if you have it set up already, throw your AI chat website link in the comments below. Yeah, I'm challenging you. Throw your AI chat website in the comments below if you've already set it up and you are live. Because here's what you need to do is show the ease of use And you could show the ease of use from their phone on their comfort level by giving them your website and them experiencing the AI chat experience there. Andrew Crow for the slam dunk straight up said, JB, you want to see my website? Here it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Way to get it done. Way to take ownership. My commitment to you is that you have questions, you throw them my way, throw them to the team, and we'll get you everything you need so that way you are getting momentum over and over. Man, awesome, awesome, awesome. Appreciate you for jumping in. If you got your website set up, throw it in the chat. Show it off. Let's see what we got. Because we're getting to the tail end of this, folks. My commitment to you is to help you get your first paying client. Results will vary, but I'm telling you, my commitment includes giving you my undivided attention, all of my energy, my knowledge, my experience, my hands-on falls, crawls, and bumps along the way. So that way you can fast track that experience and win just a little faster than I did. Because our goal here is to help others and earn a living while doing so, whether you're working a full-time job, whether this is a new venture, whether this is a passion project, whether this is something that you've been running your digital marketing agency, and now you're at the point of a plateau that, hey, man, I'm just going to listen to what some experts are doing. I trust Go High Level. Let me just see what they got and see how I can get this in my business and complement what I have to increase my revenue and my customer base. So during the demo, everything we've done is to get to the demo. We're going to address concerns, so we should know enough about our product. We should know enough about the solutions and the reassurance it provides. We should be comfortable and confident to engage and interact, ask questions, dramatically pause, listen, pause, laugh, ask questions. Just make sure the demo is engaging, make it fun. This is like jumping into a brand new sports car. How about that? How about that for you? I want you to look at this AI chat assistant like jumping into a brand new sports car. Getting in the car, you putting the seatbelt on, touching the button, start to go. Person next to you, salesman's like, hey man, this is all yours. Take it for a ride. You say, where can I go? Anywhere you want. How fast can I go? As fast as you want. And you go. But that salesperson is to the side with their seatbelt on extra tight. They're guiding you. Hey man, okay, so typically when you do fast turns, this, that, and the other, just be careful because there's a jerk. There's this, there's that. You want to be safe. Obviously, you don't want any issues. And you're like, all right, cool, got it. And you're ready to go. Pedal to the metal. And you're safely, but you're aggressively challenging the vehicle that maybe you might buy because it's been your dream. And I want you to look at this because you really don't know you want that vehicle until you're in it. If you've ever bought a vehicle or something that you really, really wanted, and it really didn't come to fruition until you were in it, you're like, I gotta have this. That's how this should feel for your prospect. I know what it could do. It's a nice to have, but once they get in it, I have to have this. That's how you know you got a good demo. That's the barometer. That's what you want to base it off of. And that's exactly what you'll get really good at after you practice. And you're going to get tons of feedback. And you're going to respect it. And then you're going to get to the point of presenting pricing. And this isn't expensive. We're talking about $197 upfront setup fee. Takes us about an hour to set this up. It includes all the collaterals, everything we need to do to make sure your business is fully functional. I'm going to train you on it. I'm going to make sure everything's good to go. Well worth it. And then on the month, today's the 12th. On the 12th of each month, it's going to be $197 each month. If things change, you change your mind, something happens, it's just not working for you, we don't gel anymore, just let me know a few days before the 12th and I just won't bill you and we'll stop it. But I rarely have anyone that cancels it. it works so good that they're just happy with it and they actually buy more things. So up to you, man. There's no contracts here. And you just get good at, just get great at it. So how are we feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Maybe you just jumped into this live training. You're like, man, this guy's too much for me. Or, man, I like his attitude. I like his energy. Seems like he knows enough. Or maybe you're like, this is just too basic. I'm not wasting my time. Whatever it is, I want you to look at what you're experiencing as an introduction to expanding the way of doing business, no matter what stage you are in it. And if you're not a customer yet of high level, we don't want you to sign up for a full paying account. Just sign up for a trial. Just go to gohighlevel.com/5DC offer. That's going to unlock all the deliverables, all the goodies, all the additional resources that come with it. It's going to give you the course. It's going to give you the playbook. It's going to give you everything you need to see if this is for you. And if not, you cancel it. And if so, you keep it. And if you're an existing customer and you just popped in because you saw this video in one of the groups or somebody shared it or a comment popped up and you saw it on your feed, well, welcome. And in order to fully participate, there's two ways you could do so. One, if you found this in a group, there's a featured section. You could see the videos from yesterday and the day before on that featured section. You can go to YouTube, see it there, right? And you can watch those previous videos. Or you can contact our support team, ask for access to the membership course. We'll get you in there and we'll get you in the next training. And you will have a new way of looking at what we're going over. But this is for everybody. If you have a son or daughter that's home from college, maybe someone that hasn't really found what they want to do in their professional life yet. Maybe someone just got laid off that you know. They're just unhappy where they're working at. They had tons of sales experience or none. Introduce them to this challenge. Let them explore it on their own. Maybe send them a video or two as an example. And maybe you contribute to their future success during a time that they thought there was no options. That's what it's all about. So help others, help themselves, and it'll end up helping you, whether directly or indirectly. But we have had one jam-packed time together. You know where to find how to get access. You know what to do if you're an existing customer. Now it's time for some accountability and some bringing this all together. So I want you to go through your list of all your potential prospects, whether it's from Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, your email, your phone, doesn't matter. Put a list of at least 10 together. Put a list of 10 together. And I want you to find a local, in-person, or online networking group. And here, I'm going to give you a little bonus here. I'm going to walk you real quick on how you do it. You guys cool with that? If I walk you through real quick how you do it? Let's get to it. So let's start with the first one that I had before was the BNI. The BNI, you go to bni.com. Click on here, find a local chapter. Going to go to find a local chapter. Click on begin now. So they made it looks like they made a little change. You could definitely plug in your information, right? So let me do this here. Okay, plug my information in. Let's see the chapter groups. Here we go. So they've actually made this improvement to be even better. I almost left, almost went like another route, made it a little bit more complicated. Sometimes you just got to follow the process. Maybe it's not the way that you expect it to be. Just follow the process, see what the result is. This gave me a bunch of groups in my area. So check this out. You got in person. Looks like some of these groups are new. This one's hybrid, which means like you can like you know what hybrid is. It's like in person or local, right? Online, in person, hybrid. So there's a handful here, right? And boom, some of these groups already have somebody. They already, have somebody in the category. It's by category. So, you may not be able to get in, right? But this is a guide. This is one way. The next way is Latip. It's another one. There are a whole bunch of, and again, these don't always serve the areas all the same way. There's maybe more BNI in one area and more Latip on another, right? So I'm gonna see. Okay, so I plugged in the information here. Find a chapter. It pulled the bunch up, right? So let's see what we got here. Let me open up this one. Let me open up this one. Chapter details. So like the other BNI was a little gated. This is not as gated. This one gives me like the faces of people, which is cool. So these are like the people that are part of the group. So now I could reach out to them and say, hey, look, I'm thinking about stopping by as a guest. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what y'all do, how y'all do it? And here's a tip. I really love looking up someone's name that I speak to on social media or LinkedIn because I could relate to them or at least get a vibe of their personality by their photo. Right? So that's like the goal is to kind of like it's kind of like you want to just like it's a first impression. So this is the first impression, right? So this is one chapter. Let's go to another chapter. All right, we just got a lot of people here. And they all look amazing, super nice, friendly. I'm down to go to this group. I'll wake up at 7 in the morning. I'll go online at 3 in the afternoon. There's some nice people here. And there's some good categories, some good industries, some local businesses. I'm all in. Let's do it. And what's the worst case? I like the group and I end up joining as a member. If it's going to bring me revenue and relationships, the double R, I'm in. So we got BNI, we got Latip. There's no shortage of prospecting. There's no shortage of people that need help. Whatever you do, however hard it gets, don't ever say that there's no one that needs help. There is actually a lot of people that need help that don't know where to find help. I joined a while back the Happy Neighborhood Project right before COVID, and then during COVID, it was amazing. These are all free groups, which is awesome. And like, let's say, for example, today's Wednesday. There's a group, 11 a.m. Pacific. I click on go to meeting, enter with one click, add your email. Like they make this super easy. Let's say I want to work with other Canadians, people from Canada, plug it in, boom, done. This is happyneighborhoodproject.com. Now, of course, they have memberships and different things that you could do to kind of get like an advanced membership and learn more, right? Yeah, obviously, these are all businesses, to support and help others. But so are you. You're a business too. Like you want to help people and want to get, compensated. So don't be surprised. Eventbrite's great. So with Eventbrite, it used to be all free. Now Eventbrite, they charge a fee to organizers, and they really limited a bit. And they've really monetized it, which is fine because at the very least, you're going to find quality people. You're just not going to find spam, right? Spam is horrible. So I'm going to type in, I'm looking for marketing events in New Jersey. And one thing I know that most of these people maybe have a free trial or they've paid to put their listing here. And there's many different trainings and stuff that are on here that are a couple different styles. Let me elaborate. You got people that are selling courses, right? Training, like actual learning. You're not going to be able to network there. So don't do that if that's what you're looking to do. You can't network there. This is another one like essentials marketing. Like this is to like learn marketing. Maybe this digital marketing conference, you click on it, right? And maybe there's some information, like maybe there's a networking section, right? Closing like so 3:30 to 4, there's networking. Is that enough? Do you have all day to be there? That's up to you. What I like to typically do when meeting new people, I like to, kind of be short and sweet, is I'll attend like this here. Like this is like a 6 p.m. after hours. Um, they have some speakers. It's about an hour, hour and a half long. I'm good, right? I'll do that. Maybe I'll meet one or two people. It's worth my time. But then you have like others where it's like maybe a real estate networking group. Um, you have you got a couple, there's a whole bunch here. Point of the story is this: you have open houses, right? You have different events. You got to make sure that you're not going to a training, you're going to somewhere where you have a chance to meet people. One more thing I want to show you. I'm going to pick Wyoming. I don't know why I'm picking Wyoming, but I'm picking Wyoming. Type Chamber of Commerce, Wyoming. They have a state chamber of commerce. They have an events page. They have upcoming events. They have a chamber directory. They have members. They have big business members. They have small business members. In this case, though, this looks like it's like the state chamber of commerce. So here's what they did. They put together all the chambers in Wyoming, which is cool, and they put them in one area. So let's say here, I want to go to Buffalo. This is the Buffalo YO Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to go to events calendar. Here's the calendar. These are events I can go to. Some are a small fee. Some require membership. You'll do the due diligence. I go to membership. I'll go to membership directory. This gives me a directory of all of their active members. Shares their name, their address, their phone number. So let's say, for example, let's say Buffalo Realty, right? I'll click Buffalo Realty. Doesn't give me the name of the person, right? But I'm not using this to cold call. I'm just using this to be familiar with who's in the chamber. And then maybe I reach out and I do a little due diligence. And maybe I reach out and say, hey, I saw you guys part of the Buffalo YO Chamber, thinking about joining. Could you share your opinion or some feedback around it? And there you go. If you're short of friends, you're short of relationships, you're against tapping into your personal network, you're shy of burning bridges, you're finding every reason that you don't want to bother your friends and family, or maybe you're embarrassed, or you're trying to keep this on the low key because you don't want people to form an opinion. Whatever it is, I've been there and done that. That's why I'm saying it. Doesn't mean you are. Well, here's what I'm saying. I just showed you 5 places that you can meet amazing people that are business-minded, professionals, and open to learn and grow with you. We're at time. We are at time. 5 minutes back in your day. It has been amazing, fun, You guys have put these chats on fire. I appreciate your engagement, your feedback, your constructive feedback, some of your jokes, some of your personality, just being you, right? Because we're all human. I hope you take all the information here, you replay as needed, you use some of the tips and tricks to speed up your learning curve, you speed up your strategy, and you take action. So, day 3 on the books, check it off. It's time to take action. And action means reaching out to people, making sure your website's up, getting them to check it out, having solid conversations, and coming back tomorrow to learn more, right? And if you come back tomorrow and you give me as much as you gave me today, I promise it'll be even better. But tomorrow we're going to go over fulfillment. So now we take this whole intro to what AI chat offer is, AI chat assistant. We spend some hours setting up this machine, this operating system. We just learned a bunch of ways to fast track sales and prospecting. Well, now let's fast track getting customers. We got customers, we got betas. John, I got people saying, yeah, I got money in my hand. What do I do? That's what we're going to go over tomorrow. How do we fulfill, deliver, so we keep our reputation 5 stars and we get referrals from happy customers? Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Bring a cup of coffee, bring a cup of tea, bring a smile, bring a friend, but bring your attitude and energy to win. That's all I'm asking for. See you tomorrow. Have a great one. Take care.